drug trafficking dates back to the Opium Wars because the British wanted to force opium trade onto the Chinese people. Opium is a poppy leaf that contains 12% morphine, which is used to create heroin for illegal drug trade.
First, I am going to discuss where does this drug trafficking come from. So, these Chinese immigrants migrate to Western and introduce the opium. And in the early 19th century, an illegal drug trade in China emerged. So the Chinese government responded by enforcing a ban on the import of the opium, which led to the Opium War, and illegal drug trade spread until today, which called drug trafficking. So, definition of drug trafficking is basically a global illegal trade involving the manufacture, distribution, and sale of substances which are subject to drug prohibition laws. Why are they doing drug trafficking rather than other beneficial jobs? So drug dealers and drug addicts think the only way and the easiest way to gain money is by joining drug trafficking. They want to become rich, and by drug trafficking, they can maintain their funding sources. That's how low their mentality and education.
Welcome back to the DT News. My name is Simon Daniel. Now we shall discuss on the types of drugs. An American Addiction Center resource had made a report for the main drug types trafficked. There are methamphetamine, which is the most consumed at 33.6%, followed by cocaine, marijuana, and heroin. Other than that, there are three types of drug traffickers. Those are freelance, socially bonded, and corporate style. For the first type, which is freelance, also known as independent traffickers, they are not tied to anyone. Commonly, they are drugs users as well. Plus, it is very easy to find them at the street because they only have small amount of drugs. For the second type, which is socially bonded drug traffickers, which is based on family business. They may have a name, although the relationship is still loose and not formal. It is also possible to tie them to a geographical territory. For the last type, which is corporate-style drug traffickers, it is an organized criminal group with sophisticated planning. The structure of their group is hierarchical. Besides, their drugs are well packed to disguise authority. Transactions are hardly detectable. Level of drug cartel and filthy rich. Hence, these are the three types of drug traffickers. Now I'll pass to Alia.
Salam sejahtera, I am Nur Ali Afika, your news reader for today. I would like to share you some of drug trafficking information. Any type of drug trafficking can operate at street level, indoors, and also through deliveries. For street level drug trafficking, this occurs outdoor. This is between anonymous buyer and sellers, or between buyers and sellers who knows each other. For indoor drug trafficking, as the name applies, sales occurs indoor. This may be in apartment, basement, nightclubs, or bars. The last one is delivery drug trafficking. This type of distribution offers drugs users the opportunity to have drugs delivered to their home, office, and other safe locations. There are several causes and effects for drug trafficking. Causes such as failing economy, poverty, failure, high level of corruption, get rich quickly syndrome among the youth. Meanwhile, for effect, it causes permanent physical and also emotional damage to users, as well as could impact families, co-workers, and users' health. Next, we would like to share you about a famous drug lord in history named Pablo Escobar. He is a Colombian drug trafficker used to control over 80% of the cocaine shipped to US in 1980s to 1990s. He entered the cocaine trade in 1970s by collaborating with other criminals to form Medellin cartel. As the cocaine industry expanded in Colombia, Escobar became involved in drug smuggling, embracing the growing demand for cocaine in US. In the backdrop of the armed conflict in Colombia, Escobar funded a lot of projects to aid the poor. Due to his generosity, Escobar won the election to an alternate seat in the country's Congress in 1982.
As a United Nations publication puts it, drug trafficking as a profiteering business, if it is not stopped, it will easily cause extreme imbalances in the economy while harming people's health and psychology. Also, it will lead to economic collapse. The solutions. As we know, drug trafficking is harmful. How to prevent it? There we have two ways. The first one is international laws and international acts. And the second one is Sustainable Development Goals drug policy. By international laws, we give 3 examples here, but it should mention that, firstly, there are some other international laws about drug trafficking. Secondly, with the developing of the laws, they are becoming more detailed and more perfect.
Hi, my name is Dr. Ayla and I will be explaining on the Sustainable Development Goals SDG in order to combat drug trafficking. The first issue would be poverty. A lot of people, they are forced to sell drugs because of their difficult circumstances. They do not have enough money nor food to survive. Therefore, they decided to take the shortcut and start selling drugs. Another issue would be health and well-being of the public. A lot of people are subjected to substance abuse because they do not have doctor's prescription when taking any medicine. Some of them even contracted HIV because they decided to share a contaminated needle with any other people who had HIV. By educating them, we are able to stop them from taking any drugs. Another issue would be gender equality. Recently, the number of female offenders in regards to drug-related crimes had increased. This is extremely worrying because we do not expect women to be involved in such crime. So by solving all these 3 issues and attaining these goals, we are able to solve the root problem of drug trafficking and thus solving all issues at once.